to realize I wanna go, I wanna fly, I wanna take myself to a new sky. I wanna live, I wanna die, I wanna thank myself, figure it out. Take me to another place. Take me to another Your touch is taking me away from here, but I'm alright with no direction. Yeah, it's too much. You're making me forget myself. Let's take a ride across the desert night. And when the sun comes up in the morning light, I can feel you there. Oh, look at me now, look at me now. I'm right here. And as the light spills out in the sleepless air, you will see me there. Don't go anywhere, go anywhere.
Order submitted.
All right, guys, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Happy FOMC day as well. Let's get into it. All right, how are we feeling, folks? Oh, it's a good day to be alive. I'm grateful to have all of you on here. Hey, I appreciate you guys. And I do not take for granted the fact that so many of you are showing up here every day, trading together, taking setups, indices, metals, majors, crypto, stocks, the whole shebang. So I appreciate all of you, big time. I know we have some new people rolling through here, so if you're new, let me know. Let me know who's here with me. Let me go ahead and say what's up to the squad here. We got Elias, Joe, Ruslan, ¿qué tal queréis? Fer, Carlos, ¿cómo están tu familia? Greg, Omar, Gabriel, happy Fed Day. What's up, Tritopia? Costa Rica, we got Michael in here, Corey, Amy, Seth, Friso, my stats. What's the strat? It's like my own take on, we can call it smart money, or just kind of a narrative-based trading and or investing. So we're going to look at indices. We'll look at majors, a little bit of metals, look at crypto stocks. ¿Qué tal, Fer? Buena música, gracias. Finally back. Good to have you back. Broly, Alejandra, what's up? Oscar, what's up, Taylor? Adrian, what's good, my boy? Broly, Omar, Brandon, what's up, squad? Not working, so plugging in. Good to see it, man. Good to see it. What's up, Ray? ¿Qué tal? David, good to, you've been consistent. Justina, perfect. All right, let me get logged in here. All right, all set. Word. So yesterday we talked about a few different things. So if you were live with me yesterday, you caught a NASDAQ right around the open. Quick trade, 3-1 off the rip. We caught it live here. It was a fantastic trade. And then from there, we were looking for shorts on indices, whether it was Dow or an NQ. I waited for NASDAQ to give me to get into my zone. But NASDAQ was not friendly. So it just missed the entry that I had over here. And then it absolutely melted. So it had a huge move. But what we did have set up was NZD USD. And this one we talked about also here on the stream. I'll walk you guys through the different scenarios, the different opportunities. So we got the setup. We got the setup right around here. And so market sweeps, we get the higher high on the 15. Now, because we didn't get the tons of demand up here, and we saw this big drop, it was between NZD USD or AUD USD. And then as the market was melting into the zone towards the end of New York session, this is where I decided to go with NZD USD. Australian was just dropping a bit more aggressive, so I actually made like a full pullback. So then I ended up taking NZD USD. It's been a bit slower on the way up, but not too bad. So far, sitting at around a 1.77 R. Gonna take this to about a 3.4. So looking to take this up to here. And this one's actively running. So anyone here, take this from me. And let me know, guys, if you've gotten some wins, you gotten paid, passed some challenges, etc. Let us know here in the chat. We want to celebrate you in here. Okay. So let's dive into some indices talk. So we have some pretty interesting price action. Now, during Asian session, here yesterday, after the open, we got all the way down to here. Traded all the way down into this zone. Here's where we saw a big gap. So you guys saw at the beginning of the week, we gapped down. Trade all the way. We opened here, wick down to here before we rally. So we have just seen the market get back into the zone. It rejects it quite nicely. And then we see the movement, the continuation. So we're kind of now trading in this zone. I will say that there's a chance we may even go lower here. It's going to depend on the structure that we get here. So right now what I want to see is we're waiting for overall to get higher highs on structure. And then, which we do. We see price make lower highs, lower lows. So we work our way up above this previous high. We trade above this for a few hours during London session, just kind of over and over again. The market comes back down to here. So we kind of trade into where we see the market sell off and then continue. So Dow rebalances, looks like it mitigates, and that's what this is right here. So the buys are looking pretty decent. Yesterday, before everything sold off, we see the big push. It drops, comes back up again, and it drops. So I don't necessarily have like a textbook sell over here. I don't really see a liquidity capture before it drops. Yes, we have this imbalance, but I'm not necessarily, there's not really a green light to trade this. Maybe we get some type of divergence, something like that, but we may see the market kind of work its way up here again. We'll kind of see how the market's looking with NASDAQ, but right now, I don't really have like the most textbook ideas here. It's actually pretty chill. What I want to talk about is it's okay if you don't see like just a quality setup right now. You might not see what you want from the market because it may be setting up for what comes later today. So, for example, today we will see FOMC. FOMC They're going to announce interest rates. There's going to be the conference. So it's one of those days where sometimes it's best to really just wait. Just wait for the market to give you the information. We've seen a good amount of support around here in the past. So there's a chance that this goes even lower anyways. We're not quite shifting momentum yet on the higher time frames. Showing you guys here on the 4 hour. In the 4 hour, we've seen some pretty good pullbacks, but there's a chance we still go a little bit lower. So with that being said, let's take a look at kind of how is the market moving here with NASDAQ. And I'll start with the 1 hour. We'll start with the 4 hour. So 4 hour, obviously, we've been very, very bullish. And then as we've approached these higher highs here above 22,156, we lose demand like just consistently above this zone. We just can't trade above here at all. So we lose demand. However, every time we get below 21,935-ish, there's also very little demand. So we're kind of in this battle between the market not really establishing itself or having demand at price over here, and then also same goes down at these levels. Now, when I look at the market here, it looks to me like we still have liquidity down here. Like there's still motive for price to wick below, crash one more time before it makes its continuation. So I don't have it completely out of the question for the market to push lower. That's still a possibility. So keep your eye out on that, especially for FOMC, which can create some pretty big movement. Now, zooming in, we're noticing, excuse me, the lack of demand at these levels. The market rebalances up to here and then drops. This was yesterday's New York session price action. And here's kind of what we're looking at. So we have two things. One, you see the sell-off over here. This is that weekly open. So there's definitely a mass amount of sell positions that open up right around here. And of course, as soon as we tap into this zone, we get the reversal. So yesterday, this was the Asian session mitigation. Now, with that being said, there's definitely still quite a lot of an imbalance in here. So we could just see the market trade out of this zone before bouncing. So yes, we closed the sell-off, but an imbalance may be in play. That doesn't mean I'm going to just take a trade when it gets there. Not necessarily the case. It means that, let's just say, for example, the market were to drop into here and quickly rebalance. If we were to kind of create that basic retail break and retest pattern, which lures in more sellers, then I'd be open to taking a buy position maybe. So it would depend on how the market forms out of here. But what we have now, though, is that NQ and Dow have traded a bit differently. And it looks to me like Dow got into the zone, rebalanced, and then moved up, but NQ did not. NQ, NASDAQ over here, we see the gap down going into a new trading day. So gaps pushes lower and lower. Then we see the market reverse, and we trade above here during London session for a few hours, dip down back up here. So it does look like we have at least some sort of demand over here. And with that being said, it just looks to me like we definitely still have a chance. We have an opportunity of seeing reversals in this range for NASDAQ. There's an imbalance over here. We haven't quite traded into these levels. There's support over here as well. So it just looks to me like we can still definitely have a buying opportunity. So this is NASDAQ. We saw during London, it sweeps the high, works its way down, comes right back up. So if we get one of those bigger moves, especially considering how Dow looks here, I want to see how these compare to one another on the open. If we get NASDAQ kind of dropping at a slower pace to the downside, then I'm way more open to trading NASDAQ here. So, for example, we got this here. So let's see how the market moves its way down. The biggest difference, as you guys can see, hold on. Biggest difference here is the following. Okay. Is that I want to see Dow drop first. So right now, look at how we're about to see New York open. 10 seconds. Dow is actually going higher first. NASDAQ's chilling. I want to see the other way around. I want to see Dow drop initially, and then we can get a position here. But right now, we're seeing NASDAQ kind of melt into this zone. Let's see what happens over here. Let's see what this is going to look like. Not quite there yet. So look, NQ bouncing initially while we have Dow still working its way lower. That's a good sign. Definitely a good sign. So I would want to take a trade like right around here. And at this point, we'd be looking at something like this. And it looks solid because right now Dow is now trading lower. So it looks like this one can play out. And we can just set this here. So we can set a limit. As long as it looks good. So like right around there. Place our stop below. Structure. And then TP, we'll just have it set here for now, but we can adjust that later. And then now we have a contract here set for MNQ. Now, if we start seeing Dow or NASDAQ start to bleed through first, and Dow is just kind of holding this up, which it looks like it's kind of doing now, then I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Es posible que voy a borrar esto si cae primero aquí NASDAQ con un poco más impulso antes que Dow venga bajando. Which is, right now, I'm not really sure. So I'm actually going to delete this order. If the market comes back here, and then I'll go ahead and run it, but I may just have to manually execute this one. Or just not trade it at all. So yeah, look at how we're getting into this imbalance. And at the same time, now Dow is just chilling here. Dow is just trading within the zone. We see it work its way down, clear some of these lows. Yeah, it's dropping a little bit, but nothing crazy here. If anything, it looks like Dow is going to be what ends up ripping to the upside here. We saw Dow just break these lows, clear these lows. Now it's coming back up, doing the good old break and retest. So this is actually dropping lower and lower. We may end up getting Dow just ripping from here. I think that's actually totally a possibility. So maybe we still see NASDAQ play out, considering that Dow is also having a really hard time to go higher. Maybe we see it play out this way. This is one of the situations where this isn't meeting my entry confirmations perfectly. So I still have a feeling that we could see NASDAQ play out, especially because like Dow is just, it's really not bearish at all. Like it's holding the structure super well, and it doesn't really have a lot of motive to go here. So this might be one of the setups where the market holds up really well, and the trade might just be either taking Dow, taking this higher, or you can give it a shot with NASDAQ because we're just getting really good price action for the bullish side of things. So you could take a position with NAS. I could understand that. And then, maybe this thing just rips to the upside super, super well. So we'll see here. As you guys can see, I haven't taken any positions yet. I'm just waiting. I'm patient with this one. I don't really necessarily need to force anything here so far. I'd rather have a couple extra confirmations and then make a different type of decision. So look at how we're getting Dow going to the upside now. We saw it pull back, comes right back into the previous levels of support. Now from here, we may see another pullback and then let this thing run. I could see that. So we might just see something like this. And then this thing can go wild. So let me know what you guys think. Are you leaning towards buying any of these at all? Are we in the market for trading NASDAQ anyways? What are you guys going to do? Are you just going to stay out of the market? What are we thinking? What are we thinking, chat? So, yeah, right now, I'm liking the idea of Dow. Right now, we sweep liquidity. We get into, some of this. We don't get below London session lows or anything. London session lows are down here. But we mitigate that here recently. And then right now, we're getting Dow with a lot more bullish momentum. So, if we were to get a pullback, I do like Dow for a setup. Maybe we even are going to see just a higher high, and then we just get a confirmed demand, and then we get a mitigation setup. That also might be the case. So, yeah, I mean, I had the right idea. Like, it all made sense here. I just didn't have the green light to take it. And then with NASDAQ, the bias was correct. However, this wouldn't have even triggered my trade anyways, at least not yet, which is cool. So right now we've rebalanced here. What I would love to see is if we are going to get Dow to, because we see clearly there's a sell-off here. So there's a lot of nice momentum to the downside. We see very, very clearly New York open right there. Push price down, clear liquidity, getting right to these zones. We're starting to push to the upside here a little bit. Just a little bit. Starting to get a little bit of a higher high. And Q, on the other hand, nowhere near as bullish as Dow. Just slowly working its way up. So this could easily just actually keep going lower as well. So definitely going to remain patient with this idea. There's never a situation in which it's worth you chasing a trade. There's never a situation where it's worth you now getting in way later at worse prices just because of you're feeling like you're missing out on potential profits. There's no point, guys. Just let the market get to your levels. Let it give you the confirmations. Remember, the market has to qualify your confirmations, not the other way around. You gotta, like, you're the one that has to greenlight the market. You are the one that gives the permission. Like, all right, cool. It's worth taking on risk to trade this or that. So remember, that's always your personal choice. You don't have to have risk in the market if it doesn't make sense to. Okay, so looking at NASDAQ, looking at Dow, we're starting to get this initial drop here with Dow and pretty aggressive volatility at the moment also with Dow. It's interesting to see because now we're pushing down a bit more aggressively. NASDAQ's pretty mellow in its move. So I wonder if how aggressively we're going to see this happen, because this is starting to look like it could potentially give us a NQ shakeout play, which basically means NQ might look to kind of maybe play off of this support over here. Then, kind of lure in sellers. And then finally we get a play out of here and then just take this even further. So something like this could definitely be a possibility. So let's wait and see. Right now, Dow cleared these highs. At the moment, I'm not looking to buy Dow yet. Just speculation. Por ahorita estoy esperando, solo dejo que el mercado aquí me dé confirmaciones. Con Dow, no nos dio altos alcistas, no pudo mantener la demanda, entonces cuando cae el mercado, esto aquí no me convence para compras todavía. Y lo que estoy viendo es que creo que NASDAQ puede aquí básicamente formar este quiebre y retesteo para después salir hacia arriba. So if this becomes the setup, if NASDAQ's going to be the play, this introduces a totally different entry model and risk reward. So with something like this, now you're looking at potential sell or buys down here. So look at how much Dow is dropping. And look at how chill NASDAQ is. So the momentum has shifted. The momentum has definitely shifted. So the buys look much, much better, in my opinion, now with NASDAQ. And I like the buys down here at these levels. I think taking positions somewhere over here makes sense. We've seen support. So right around this zone. I mean, 21,950-ish, 952. It looks solid in my book. So something like this, I'm definitely down for. And then what we can do now is, like you guys can see, I'll place this order. So right around here. Get the stop down here. And let's see if we can get this thing to rip up to there. At the moment, we're back at where we've seen support before. So this maybe is where we start to kind of build up that resistance, get the pullback, and then see if the market makes that expansion. So now we wait. And you guys are going to get the little details here. So you're seeing naturally the market, kind of rejects a little bit. Sometimes you can expect that, pretty normal. But what we're noticing is there is very little demand. It drops down and right back up. So below this, like 21,975, price just doesn't want to stay here very long. So if we do come back down to these areas, I mean, we have proof that it doesn't want to trade down here. So that gives me this gives me a lot of green lights for this trade in particular. Okay. So obviously we don't know how long this trade could take. This could take a few minutes, could take 15, etc. Now we're going into the last quarter of the hour, so the last 15 hour. Sometimes you get more decisive movements with at these times. But while all that's building out, what I'm going to do is let's go over some of the majors, some of these dollar pairs. Let's see what's going on here. What you guys are seeing right now on your screen is actually, I was doing some digging into some solar stuff. Everything gapped like crazy yesterday. And, just doing some digging. So I'll just leave these for you guys to research. Some of these companies. These three in particular, I think, are long-term going to do really well, just at least within the next few years. So I won't really go too deep into this, but yeah, it's looking solid. But anyways, we're not going to go into stocks. Maybe not yet. Maybe later. I think it's not really something urgent by any means. Okay. So let's look at these dollar pairs. Now, guys, when you see this, what do you see? When you look at AUD USD, what is this? What is this like? What does this look like to you? What could possibly happen over here? What does this look like to you guys? Future speed is different, and you have to pay extra for non-delayed data on futures at Brandon Kinder. Unless you're trading like right off of like your live broker, then it's going to be live. But if you're trading, so something else, then it's going to be, different. So like here on TradingView alone, yeah, you got to get data feed. But if you're on TopStep, if you're on Apex, if you're just trading your own funds with Trade8, NinjaTrader, Thinkorswim, whatever, then, it's going to be right on point. I will be live for FOMC, but only in the community. So make sure you click the link so you can join the Tradetopia community. What's up, Junior? What's good, bro? Yeah, Salvador, what's good? Waiting on BTC bounce. Currently in Dow. Drop. Drake voice. What's up? Lonzo, what's good, bro? Liquidity sit because of the trend line. So, yeah. AUD/USD is about to, and we're taking a little break from indices while they load up over here. I got them on another screen just in case we gotta take a look at this. But right now, I think we could still get this set up with NAS. So if we get a nice pullback on NASDAQ, we're looking to play out of this last point of supply. And as of right now, it's not really rejecting too much yet. So our initial buy idea from down here that missed by a little bit obviously is going really well. But we still have an opportunity if right now we get the break and retest. This lures in sellers, brings the market down enough. And then from here, with enough sellers, the market can absolutely rip. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Or if this thing is going to just obliterate everything in sight. But anyways, AUD/USD is just squeezing like crazy. There's an absurd amount of liquidity built up on the sell side liquidity here. So tons of retail buyers. And then same thing up here on the buy side liquidity. There's tons of retail everywhere. So, there's been trades within this range all of these months. But at some point, we're going to see an absolute meltdown. I ended up taking NZD instead of Australian, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys what we have going on right now, what price action looks like at the moment. So we've seen AUD/USD mitigate cleanly, play into this structure here. That's kind of why we got this pullback. And then I think the next target here, there's more imbalance up here. So I do think we're going to work our way up another leg and then play into this imbalance, maybe even go for liquidity. I don't really have setups here, but just wanted to give you guys my perspective with the majors, at least with Australian first. Euro, definitely way more bearish, significantly more bearish here than Australian. And you guys see the textbook sweep of the high. So let me just zoom out real quick. You see the market push the high, trade up above this wick, and then work its way down. So Euro might be giving a selling opportunity way up here. So you go look at Euro around 1.15846. And up here, you have pretty good chances of shorting. Now, I'm going to want to compare this to the pound. But just Euro independently, it looks good. Looks like you can get a good short out of this range. And the more we zoom out, the more it looks like the swing sells are getting ready here. We've been trending upwards very nicely. So there's liquidity, there's imbalances. The market to drop another, let's say if it comes up to there, easy, we're seeing 300 pip drop. Easily. So now just wait it out more than anything. Just wait it out. So seeing a little bit of momentum. Euro is just not trying to go up though. Everything else is like AUD is pushing higher. You're seeing NZD/USD pushing higher, but Euro's barely moving. GU is barely moving. And GBP USD sold off epically from the highs over here, right? We marked this one up on, when was that? Monday? Insane setup here. And the same principles go for GU. GU pushes to the upside over here, mitigates really well. So it creates that high with the intention of creating this like artificial demand over here, and then the market just melts. So I think the next sell zone, if we can get up to here, this is what we're looking for with GU. We'd have a beautiful short from here. And then now we really just kind of wait and see, okay, is it going to be Euro or GBP USD that works its way up to here at the right time? So tons of liquidity. Definitely have selling opportunities over here. Honestly, it's just kind of waiting it out. So we'll see which one of these gets to this zone last. But GBP USD, it looks to me like it would be the one. So what I'll do here is I'll give you guys a couple seconds to start to mark this up. So GBP Euro. Drop a GBP in the chat once you have this analyzed on your chart, once you have that set up there. Want to make sure you guys are, you're not just trading, making money. Like, yes, guys, we've been going crazy here. You guys have seen it, and you guys are trading it live as well. So everything we've been doing here, like, you guys have seen it in real time. Okay, so while you're marking up GBP USD, I'm going to come back to this, obviously, but I want to do a quick update with indices. So we end up getting Dow to respect this, right? This is the zone that we had before. So we end up seeing Dow Jones actually respect this zone, play off of this last point of supply here, give us the continuation. I decided not to take this one here when we started to see NASDAQ kind of move a little different, take over on the bullish side of things. So right now, I'm kind of going to just have my eye on how the market works its way down. So will we have, because this is the low, will we have Dow kind of drop at a slower pace? Maybe we take a trade somewhere in here. Or are we going to see NASDAQ drop at a slower pace and we get our trade over here? So I'm going to be doing the comparison, the side by side, and then we're going to take a trade based off of, the divergence between these two. So I'll keep an eye on that. Okay, so when you have GBP marked up, you said you guys put a GBP in the chat. Also appreciate all of you that like the stream, you're subscribed, you join the community. I will be releasing a new series in the free community here soon. ¿Cuánto cuesta entrar a Tradetopia? There's a free community. It's totally free. And then depending on if you want to work in the implementation group where we're doing, internal work, psychology work, external, so the technical systems, the funded challenges, strategies, the financial strategies and all that good stuff. And we're working together 3 times a week, hands-on, submitting, assignments. Like, it's a whole curriculum. It's a 1-year program. That'll depend on you. So that depends on if you've done some of the work, because you can get credits. You can get up to 2,000 off that program if you can earn your way in there. How do you join? Click the link at the top. Puedes entrar. Click the link at the top. It's pinned in the chat. I caught that sell 1 to 2R. Nice. Okay, so you guys got this. GBP. Perfect. And then do Euro. Remember, Euro as well. You can mark this one up. Very similar chat. So drop a Euro in the chat once you have this one marked up. Okay. Sweet. And then if you are serious about applying, because we want to make sure it's also a right fit for you, then when you are in this in the Tradetopia group, you'll see it apply as well. Okay, cool. Looking good. And then with that being said, we have NZD USD. This is the buy that I'm currently in. It's fighting its way up. It's really trying. It's trying to break through here, struggling to continue to break through, to sustain the highs. I want to see us get up into this zone and finally just kind of at least fill the rest of this imbalance, play into this structure. Looks like it's just going to take a bit more time. GBP equals euro. Similar, yeah. So if your futures, yeah, drop a 6E or a 6B in the chat. I just want to make sure you guys have it marked up. Okay, fantastic. So NZD USD, it's a bit more bullish than the other majors. Slowly but surely working its way through. And then that leaves us with looking at USD CAD and USD JPY. As I look at these, I'm not really like looking to take anything here anytime soon. We do see USD CAD sweep these highs one last time before it drops. So I'm curious to see if we get back up into this range and then see another short. It's got some potential. And then we have USD CHF. It's got a long way to go. Maybe some buys down here. And then some sells way up there. From there, we have USD JPY. The sell-off was textbook. 3R. This one missed me by a hair. The buy setup here barely survived. I only got to take a little bit here, and then got stop profited here. I was managing this pretty tightly. Came back down and then fully mitigated and has rallied ever since. So before I go over more USD JPY, let's take a look at indices. So look at how NASDAQ is pushing down a bit more aggressively here. So we're seeing NASDAQ play into these zones. If you look at the overall structure, so let's look at how bullish or bearish this has been. And I'm going to delete this. Voy a borrar este límite. But NASDAQ is dropping almost about to the 50% level. So it's dropping a bit more aggressive. Whereas when you look at Dow's pullback is pretty minimal right now. It's not even at a 38.2. So I'd rather wait for Dow to work its way down, if it's even going to get there, if we're going to get a decent setup or not. So if you guys look, like the last drop we got was somewhere over here. So I think for an entry, there's a pretty decent chance that we can get a buy play right there. We'll see. And then the stops, honestly, with something like this, I don't even think we need to really have our stop all the way down to here. I think we can probably tighten it up a little bit more, maybe down to the right there. something like this. But look how quickly the market played out of this level of support and came right back up. So we still want to keep our eyes open, because for all we know now, because yes, NASDAQ drops initially much more aggressively, but if we see this happen again and the market comes down, it could just be Dow that drops faster into the zone. So I still have a perspective about taking buy positions, whether it's with NAS or with Dow. That's not necessarily over for me. I'm just going to be, just got to let this thing come through. Looks like the majors finally are getting some momentum. Dollar's starting to kick in here. Here we go. So NZD USD now really starting to push. Let's see if your boy here is gonna hit TP here soon. All right, here we go. So Australian just hit that imbalance, it looks like, as well. And then we got this play happening here. So 6N. I think I just hit TP then. Yeah. Oh, I was late. Sheesh. I wanted to show you guys, but whatever. So yeah, that's what we had going on for the trade. Well done. And then I guess just so you guys can see, because I think one of the most important things is the transparency of doing a stream, taking trades together, giving you guys setups that I'm looking at, and then you all being able to see, like, oh yeah, he did do that. Like, I'm losing and winning with you guys. So, all right, let me pull up my I'll pull up like the Top Step account, the main one. And then let's see here, so you guys can see the execution. Where is this thing? Show chart executions. Here we go. Okay, so you guys will see this right here, and I think it should move over to the tab. Right there. So this was the breakdown of yesterday's setup. I took the initial buys over here. And then, as we got into the day ended, so, this trade doesn't go over on prop firms, futures prop firms. And then once we got into the new day, about an hour later, I took the position right there. Had a better RR, so it worked out actually even better. And then I just took my exit right here. So we just actually had a pretty good exit. Right there. At least right now it looks good, right? So then we took the exit right there. So just so you guys can see, like, we are trading here together. Yeah, before the crossover. And then same thing with the Apex accounts. Yeah, and then this last payout, I think it only took like 2 or 3 days for it to hit, so wasn't too bad. Okay, so that's all nice. There's a chance, honestly, that the market shorts from here too, but I'm not too inclined to take any shorts with these setups because Euro and GU are lagging behind way more anyways. So I'm okay with kind of just waiting it out. All right, so what we're seeing, to give you a bit more perspective with indices, is we're seeing a really good amount of demand up here. So the market does want to trade up here. This is a competitive, these are competitive prices for the market. And so if we do end up getting pullbacks, the chances that the retracements are going to hold and then bounce are good. It was on an absolute rampage. Would have been nice to take some of these like from down here, right? When I was like, yeah, I mean, it looks like this is going to rip, but I'm not going to just trade what feels good to me. You know, like that's not necessarily the plan. The plan is like not like, you know what? Maybe it should be, but it's like vibes. So what's your system? What's your trading system? Just vibes. Pure vibes, bro. Pure vibes. So just for you guys to see, where is this thing? Same thing here. Wanted to show you guys this. So we can open this up. Where is this thing? So multiply this one by however, 20. But this was the same thing, the NZD trade. Took forever. But yeah, that way you guys can just kind of have, I would say what the word is. So this one was, let's see. Yeah, it's about a like 12K trade. But I think it just gives more confidence to, okay, like we're in this together as we're trading more than anything. All right, so look at how we're seeing this drop right now. Dow a little bit more bearish. And Q chilling. Chilling like a villain. Okay. I'm going to look over gold, maybe a little bit of oil, and then some crypto. Let me look at the chat, though. What's good, chat? We'll get to the syndicate, just have some work to do. Work it out. Yeah, do some of the work. Me sacó break even. Break even on NAS short, LMAO, when I was trying to, for more than 2x. Ooh, have you won? No, I haven't gone over oil. I can do that now. Ahorita puedo ver Bitcoin también. Mike, caps. No me grites. Most raw educator all time. I don't know. Mike, can you ask Jerome to cut rates so we can get rich this summer? Yo, you got JP's number?
I hit him up.
You hit him up? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's on D-
He's on D&D right now, guys. ¿Qué tal Argentina? NG starting to set up a buy. Oil is my favorite. We definitely got a special bond. That's funny. All right, let's look at it then. Let's look at oil. Oh, guys, have some great news for you. The new computer coming in here, I think Friday or Monday. So we'll be having 4K, we'll be having 16K streams here. All right, cool. So oil kind of had a nice sweep of a lot of these highs before it drops in here. So pretty decent play. Looks like it mitigated this zone as well. I would want to see a lower low here. I would want to see us get some demand, and then something like this could set up for a solid short. Yeah, something like this looks good. Right now, you know, the market's been very bullish. This gets influenced due to the war. Got a nice pullback right here. Here we see a nice drop, sweeping liquidity, playing into the imbalance, playing off a structure. Then the market, you know, continues. We see the reaccumulation. And we get back up to this zone over here. There's a chance. So that's why I want to see some demand here. Because, like, this is not giving us, like, this kind of looks like it's building up liquidity as well. So we might crack above one more time. So if I'm going to look for a short here, then what I want to do is I want to, one, confirm that there's demand here, but I might not go for a super aggressive exit. Since these over here, you can see, like, we're not really seeing this. We're not really seeing a sweep of this liquidity yet. So sometimes what you get is something like this. You might get the drop. It might, you know, range. And then you see it do one of these, come back down, and then continue to take the high. So sometimes this can set up this way. This is something definitely worth noting, though. This huge sell-off right here before the market rallied, because this is starting to look like reaccumulation. When the market drops like this lures in tons of sellers. It breaks the low, so sell stops get triggered. People look at this as a distribution, but the market has no demand over here. It's just like, just kidding. We definitely want to keep trading in the 70s. And so when we see something like this, then we saw oil start trading a little bit above this high, kind of up and down, it gets back into here, it rebalances, and then strongly trades upwards. However, I think that the reversal, this thing is got something going on here. Here we go. So I think the reversal that we see is playing out of the imbalance. It's not mitigating this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get below these lows. So I think we could trade below here. Maybe look for a setup somewhere in this range. Yeah, something like that could play out. We'll see. Maybe we just drop into here first, or maybe we get the distribution. So keep your eye on this one for sure. Meanwhile, right now we're seeing indices on an absolute rampage. Damn, man. We had the right bias, missing out on hundreds of points, but remember what we talked about. These are all just... This is basically going to be a trade that you won't remember anyways. NASDAQ taking its sweet time to work its way higher, while we're seeing Dow already way up here in this imbalance. So here's the question. Here's the question. Are we today, are we finally going to get up to here and see the market short this buy or what? Because yesterday we end up just moving sideways, basically creating liquidity over here, and then it just melts. And the US 30 zone that I had marked up ends up playing out. So we get this going on over here. What I will add is that FOMC might be what gives us the buy opportunity here. And I will be trading FOMC live as well within the community. So make sure you're in there. OI is on CLQ contract. I'm a noob. Oh, I see. Okay. So this short then makes more sense on oil. Like if it gets demand, the short and holding the short further down makes sense. Probably taking it into somewhere in here. So look for, let's see if we can get some more of this. Get a little bit of this. Get a little bit of this. And then we'll see where that goes to. Yeah, there's definitely setups during Asian sessions, especially with gold right now because of the geopolitical climate that we're in. You're going to see indices setups in Asian session too. Like we got setups yesterday during Asian session. Mitigated those lows. So, yeah, curious to see. We're definitely seeing some accumulation right now. I want to see if we're going to crack these highs and how this looks. Because now we're seeing NASDAQ start to rip as well. Way more aggressively. We're trading back at this like basically lunchtime price action. Same thing here. So I want to see shorts. I think I want to see us clear. If Dow can clear yesterday's New York session highs, and then that sets up for this NQ sell, that'd be cool. Okay, let's look at gold. Yeah, definitely. If the only time you have is oh my god, gold futures. Which one are we on now? I haven't checked it. The July's? No. Yo, what's that website for checking the current contract on gold? Is it called like bar chart or something? It's GCQ. All right, here we go. Okay. So gold, oh man, FOMC is going to be insane because, and here's why. Gold has been squeezing for 49 hours straight. 49 hours straight. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Chances are that it goes something like this. Not sure which order But I think we go somewhere like this to here. Something like this can go down today or throughout the next few days. Now, tomorrow is a bank holiday as well. So just to keep that in mind, guys. And honestly, we might even go lower. This could go below this low considering we have liquidity here. So either it goes to here or it goes to here. One of these could play out. But I feel pretty confident that we're going to see a massive movement. Because gold just trading sideways like this, it's unusual. And we might go higher first and then go lower as well. Right now, I don't necessarily have a setup. These highs are just, there's no demand. The lows, same thing. So I'm not trading anything in here. Do you think Dow could clear the buys in order for Nas to get the sell off, the highs? Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm banking on. Is we see Dow clear up here. It's got more pace to it, so we may see it clear these highs. I'll place an alert here. Because it clearing New York highs and then seeing the drop makes sense. I could see I could see it kind of wanting to short out of here. I'm not going to. But for example, you have that last dip down yesterday. Like right here. Actually, let me go to NQ so it's just more precise. So NQ, I mean, this to me is liquidity. Caught a gold buy during agent session. Savage. Let's go. So, yeah, I mean, the market maybe wants to play out of this. Like we have right now, you see gold trading right over here. Or not gold. Dow trading over here. So I'm good on that. I'd rather it clear New York session highs. Same thing here. And then set up for that NQ play that we were waiting for from yesterday. And then I think I have to log in here again. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me log back into this thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, got the PA accounts. All right, so yeah, we'll be waiting for that. And then if Dow clears the highs first, and then that kind of leads into NQ over here, then I'll go ahead and follow suit. But gold, this is kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. I think it froze. Just hit a gold short. I'm raising price action. Yeah, I can show you silver. Give me a sec. Soon we will have no problem. It's funny too because Mike said something about trading when the market is right for you, not the other way around. Yeah. Yeah, if you can't you can't force the market to work when like you shouldn't have to adapt to the you shouldn't be the one folding to the market. You should let the market just be easy to trade. So if it's different time, then it works. If you have to trade different assets, then trade different assets. Man, gold's really playing here. All right, we're out. We're bouncing. All right. I wonder if it seems like we're going to get this pretty soon. I wonder, it looks like we're going to get a chance to be in this short possibly before FOMC. So, okay, instead of waiting for this one, let's just look at it from here. Okay, so we got silver working its way down, rebalancing at the moment. Nice. Let me pull up the current silver contract. That's definitely not it. It's so annoying. It's like, all right, which one's which? Gold is at Q, silver is on N. I need to get to the bottom of this. All right, so we just got the rebalance here. Play out of the structure as well. Silver dropped pretty aggressively here. However, I don't love this as much. Now, what can happen here for silver is we may be seeing the shakeout play out here. So if we get some demand up here, then we might just get a play for FOMC like this. So see how the market plays out. Give it some time. Something like this has a possibility. We're 3.5 hours away from all that, so give it some time. Okay, as promised, Bitcoin. Let's look at some Bitcoin. Has Bitcoin been ripping just like indices? Not really. Kind of, I guess. Like it's doing some work, but it's not anywhere near as bullish. I guess, yeah, it recovered yesterday's price action, just not earlier in the week quite yet. So we're seeing a similar type of trading. We came into the imbalance yesterday. We played out of some support, and now it looks like we may be pushing higher. Traditionally, guys, FOMC or CPI type of moments can signal highs or lows for the next 6 weeks or so. So based on how Bitcoin's looking right now, if it stays up here, this looks like a mitigation setup for a buy. So we see it sweep below. This takes out London session and Asian session liquidity, coming back into New York session imbalance. So if we trade up here, let's say we kind of just stay here for the rest of New York session leading into FOMC, yeah, we can get a decent buy opportunity right there and then have this thing go crazy. At least to here, maybe we lose some momentum here, but maybe we just break through. But working our way up to around 107 looks good to me. Okay. All right, so going back, indices are continuing to go higher. So we're seeing Dow's about to clear these highs over here, so it's getting very close. Look at that. We were almost in this trade. 300 points. And then looking at NQ also pushing up nicely. Not quite at the highs yet, but it's getting closer. All right, so yeah, stay on the lookout for this, guys. I'm going to go ahead and kind of wrap up here. I think we're getting pretty close to this zone. If you have any questions regarding the setup in the Tradetopia community, just go ahead and ask in there and drop a post. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? If you guys learned something new today, share what you've learned in there. If you haven't gone through our courses that are in there for free, go in there. Go in there. I'll be adding more and more from the vault as well as time goes on. So right now there's a Stoic trading course in there as well that you guys can dive into. And then remember, if you're going through those, as you're submitting your trading journals, you do earn credits if you're interested in our yearly implementation program. So that is catered to those that are truly determined and committed to making this a very viable income. So good stuff, guys. Much love. Appreciate you all being on here. Before we go, don't forget to hit the like button, stay subscribed, get notifications if we ever do pop-up calls or anything like that. So I'll see you guys again. We'll be live again here tomorrow, but we'll be live for FOMC within the community.